are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that they introduce a process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. Anyone else wants to read?
My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. This one simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hari Hari without any motive. Hare Krishna.
My dear brother, just try and examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them, even birds and beasts cry and stones melt. Krishna.
But Lochan Das regrets that I am entrapped by sense gratification. Since I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, then Yamraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement.
Thank you so much, everyone. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Jai.
So, before starting any kind of discussion, this is our Shishta Parampara, or a tradition which has set by our acharyas to glorify and to ask for benediction from the teachers who have given us this treasure of knowledge. So whosoever knows these prayers, I'm sure everybody knows these prayers, please recite along with me. You can be unmuted or muted, whatever you want, but please recite these prayers with me. Om Agyanitimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupha Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Freshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Pachyate Deshitarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we are reading from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita today, from chapter 6, Madhya Leela, the liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sri Caitanya Caritamrita is running on the same thing, on a same theme, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing his mercy towards all the living entities, especially those who have taken this human form of life and is driving some other kind of meanings from the Vedanta Sutra. We have seen in Adi Leela also, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while talking with Prabodhananda Saraswati, he refuted the philosophy of Mayavad. And in this particular chapter, we are seeing the same theme and the same kind of discussion going on with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. The Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, we know he was an expert, or he was a leader of all the Mayavadi Vedantists at that time in Jagannath Puri, where Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu spent his 18 years, 6 years in traveling and then 12 years later also in Jagannath Puri. So there are external and internal reasons which has been explained to us by the author of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita in Adi Leela. And one of the external reasons which has been explained in Adi Leela is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here to distribute the love of Vraja Prem, or to establish the Raganuga Bhakti. And while establishing this path of Vraja Prema, there were so many people who came across during the lifetime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to whom Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted from being Mayavadis into Bhaktas or Bhakti Vedantas. So the main purpose of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if we see the league of the discussion which is going on between Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is to refute the bhasya or the commentaries of Shankaracharya, Sarika Bhasya. He refuted it completely and established through Vedanta Sutra what is the right philosophy. This chapter is quite technical, but it's very important to understand. Because many times we feel that as devotees, there is no need for us to get into the technicalities. But there is a reason why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining the clear description from Vedanta Sutra. So that, because when we become devotees or when we walk on the path of devotional service, there are so many doubts. There are so many doubts in the hearts or in the minds of devotees, even. When these doubts act as demons. These doubts act as demon and just cover the consciousness of a devotee who wants to perform pure sadhana bhakti. I repeat, pure sadhana bhakti or pure devotional service in practice. It becomes very difficult. And there are two kinds of doubts which has been explained by our previous teachers. Asambhavnas and Viparit Bhavanas. Asambhavnas and Viparit Bhavanas. So, why Krishna is supreme? And if Krishna is supreme, why not Shiva and Brahma? They are on the same level. So, these doubts can be cleared if we clearly understand the technicalities which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is establishing in this chapter as well as in Adi Leela. And also, later also in Ante Leela, we can see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is a discussion between Sri Vallabha Bhatta and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Vallabha Bhatta and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu both are on the Bhakti Vedantas. So, till now we have seen in this particular chapter the liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. I have also explained in my previous discussions on this chapter the liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. This name has been given because there is a particular definition of mukti which has been given in Canto 2nd, chapter number 10. And mukti means that when the subtle and gross body, the changing of subtle and gross body stop completely. So liberation. Now the liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya from this mentality of Mayavad is happening in this chapter. So that's why the liberation from the Mayavad philosophy of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has been explained in this chapter, and that's why this chapter has been given the name, the liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So till now we have seen how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived in Jagannath Puri, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya very lovingly took care of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there was a whole discussion between Gopinath Acharya and Sri Chaitanya and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya regarding the supremacy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was inclined to teach Vedanta Sutra to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he did that. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not utter a single word for 7 days. And after 7 days, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked him, are you understanding anything or just sitting like, just sitting and hearing me? At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I am understanding the meaning of Vedanta Sutra, but I am not understanding what you are trying to tell me. And from there, the discussion went further. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he clearly established till now, this is a synopsis or the context of today's verse. And whenever we start new discussion, it's important to set up the context, because in the midst of performing so many activities of our daily routine, we forget about the things which we learn in these discussions, and especially the classes for Caitanya Caritamrita happen once in a week. So that's why it's important to revise it. So that's why I'm revising for myself, especially. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clearly established difference between Buddhist and Mayavadis. He said that Buddhist, they don't, Buddha, what he did, he just negate the material existence, Shunyava. But after that, what happened? Nothing. And they completely reject the Vedas. So they come under the categories of atheist. But as far as Mayavad is concerned, so they are accepting Vedas. They are taking the ashraya or the shelter of Veda ashraya. But even after taking the shelter of Vedas, they are twisting the Vedas and taking the indirect meaning or gone vritti or indirect meaning of the direct explanation of Vedanta Sutra and twisting it in order to prove their own point of impersonalism and to reject the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we remember, we discussed about Brahmavadis, Paramatmavadis, and Mayavadis. So many times it has been seen that everything is, we are just using Mayavadis as a salt in a vegetable. We are just putting Mayavadis everywhere, but that's not the fact. Brahmavadis and Paramatmavadis, although they have belief in Savishesha Brahman, that they believe that the Supreme Lord has transcendental qualities and transcendental senses. But at the same time, their main goal is to merge into the impersonal effulgence for Brahmavadis. For Paramatmavadis, it's the Paramatma feature is prominent. But they believe on the transcendental form of the Supreme Lord. But Mayavadis, they reject the transcendental form of the Supreme Lord and establish a philosophy which we are going to discuss today also. And they say that everything is illusion. So Mayavadis, they are specific term which comes is Krishna Aparadhi, or they are the offenders onto the lotus feet of Lord Supreme Lord Krishna. Because they are accepting the Vedas and they are rejecting the main teachings or the essential teachings of the Vedas, or they are accepting just the half truth and neglecting the other half of the portion of Vedas. In Saturday's discussion, I don't know how many of you were there, but I have explained that there are 18 kinds of Vidya and how Vidya coming from the Shabda Brahman, which is Omkara, Pranaba, and from Omkara, it divides into 18 tributaries. And I have showed the presentation also for that. It was in temple. So, what was it? Oh, okay. So the point is that, and then later on, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he explained about the philosophy of Vyasadeva and Shankaracharya. He said Vyasadeva, he put, let me just show this to you. So two types of transformations are happening. First is Vyasadeva's Parinamavada. Parinama means resultant action. Parinam is resultant action. And Vada means theory of real transformation within Prakriti's framework. So Vyasadeva has established in Vedanta Sutra that everything which is emanating is the transformation of the energies of the Supreme Lord. So there is a cause and there is a effect. Two things are there. Cause is Paramatma for this material nature or for the entire cosmic creation. And effect is the Prakriti. But this cause, when it is turning into the effect, the cause is not going anywhere. The cause is not going anywhere. And the example can be given that when a father is producing a child, the child is there, but the father is also there. So the cause is there and the effect is also there. And many times it has also been explained, just like in milk, when there is an acid, when there is a reaction with the acid, it turns into the yogurt. But in normal form, we can see that the cause, milk, convert into effect, which is yogurt. But in terms of cosmic manifestation or Parinamavada, milk is transforming into yogurt, but the milk is still there. So the Paramatma, the position of Paramatma or Paramatma is intact all the time. But what is transforming? His energies are transforming. His material energies are transforming with the presence of his material energy is transforming. But who is transforming the material energy? The Supreme Lord potency, which is Kala Shakti, or which is the eternal time factor. With eternal time factor, Lord is injecting other energy of the Lord, which is Tathastha Shakti or the marginal potency, which is Jivas, into this Prakriti or material nature. And with that combination, material nature is changing. So the cause, the Nimitta Karana, Nimitta Karana is the main cause, is Paramatma, is the Supreme Lord, Paramatma, right? And he is the cause and the Prakriti, cosmic manifestation, is the effect. And what is changing? Paramatma is not changing. His energies are changing. His marginal potency is going into the external potency, Maya Shakti. And Maya Shakti, Jiva Shakti, and with the help of Kali Shakti, all the things are happening in this material world. So that's what Vyasadeva has established. Parinama Vada. Vikar, or we can say Vikar is happening and energies are changing of the Supreme Lord. Now, Supreme Lord comes as one of the plenary portion of Supreme Lord is Paramatma. And we are reading this in Srimad Bhagavatam, so I'm not going into these details. But Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, but Shankaracharya, he has established Vivartavada. Vivarta means illusion, and Vada means theory. Theory of illusion. Illusion what? That there is no effect happening. This is just the illusion. Because this position of Brahman or that effulgence is same, but nothing is happening. I mean, the material, the cosmic manifestation is all in illusion. There is nothing. Everything is fake. Everything is fake. Nothing is neti. They say this is not true. This is not true. Everything is just fake, illusion. It's just like that. The living entity is experiencing this. It's just all illusion. Now, how come this glass are illusion? It is a temporary thing. But this glass has metal, right? And this metal is a part of Prithvi, earth, right? And earth, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita in 7.4, Krishna is saying
Peter,
that
because
this
like
is
a lot of these movies, I don't watch the trailers, and when I watched this movie, I was kind of shocked at the low budgetness of it, and I didn't know it was made between a roughly $500,000 to
I
$700,000
think someone
animation budget.
needs
Which
to-
sure, that's very low, and I give credit where credit due, but sometimes you know
Please
your budget, you need to know
mute
where to
yourself,
use,
whoever is unmuted.
stop.
Okay. Madhavi, you can unmute them also. You are the host now.
Okay. Okay. So I was saying this metal, let me just see who is mute. Mute. So this metal is not fake because it is a part of Prithvi, earth. And earth is separated energy of the Lord. And Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that it's my separated energy. So this glass is temporary, but it is not fake. It is not fake. And similarly, we can see that other things in this material world may be temporary, but this is a material reality. It is not fake or it is not an illusion. On the other hand, Shankaracharya's Vivartavad philosophy says that everything which is present here is illusion. Everything is Brahman. This glass is Brahman. I am Brahman. You are Brahman. Everybody is Brahman. And whatever we are feeling or whatever the things are here, it's just like we are confusing between rope as a snake. But in explanation to this example, rope is existing, snake is existing, both are reality. Only the person who is considering this rope as a snake is mistaken. That's the thing. So there are two kinds of philosophy, Parinamavada and Vivartavada. And Vivartavada is the theory of illusion. For them, for Mayavadis, they say here in this material world, there are activities. But in spiritual world, there is no activity. Shunya, no activity. In this material world, we have relationship. In spiritual world, there is no relationship, just effulgence. But Parinamavada says that in this material world, there are material relationships. But in spiritual world, there are spiritual relationships. So we don't negate the presence of the transcendental form of the Lord and the relationship of the soul after leaving this material world. So is it clear? Parinamavada and Vivratavada. That has been explained very nicely by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu in the verses 174, 170, 171, 172, 3, 4. Now we are going to start. Stop sharing. Let me share the screen for point 175. All right. Here we are. Okay. So we are starting from 175. One 174 was. Okay, so we have to start from verse 175, but I'm reading this 174 because in order to set the context for this 175. Prabhuji, if you are available, you can read.
Yes, Mataji. প্রণব যে মহাবাক্য ঈশ্বরের মূর্তি প্রণব হইতে সর্ববেদ জগৎ উৎপত্তি
All right. Not going to go into the purport because we have already covered it last time, but just for setting the scene for the next verse. The transcendental vibration Omkara is the sound form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All Vedic knowledge and this cosmic manifestation are produced from this sound representation of the Supreme Love. Now, we may wonder why suddenly the shift from the theories of Vedantas, Parinamavada and Vibratavada, shifted from the Vedantic philosophy to this Omkara or Mahavakya. Why? Because it is related. It is related. How come it is related? Now we can see for those who believe in the theory of illusion or Vivratvada, which is given to us by Shankaracharya, Sharika in his Sarika Bhasya, in that, in particularly in that, he is establishing one of the statement or sentence from one of the sentence from the Vedanta Sutras and putting stress on that in order to establish that this spirit, in order to establish that the spirit soul, this living entity, is same as the Supreme Brahman. But prior to that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is saying, Pranava ye Mahavakya, Ishvaraha Murti. Why? Because this Omkara or Pranava is the original sound vibration, or we can say is the representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Omkara. So three things, Omkara, three things have been explained, and I'm going to show it so that are you all able to see my PowerPoint slide?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not PowerPoint.
No PowerPoint.
It's just the database right now.
Okay. Sorry. So these are particular, these are my notes, but I just sharing so that we can all, understand here. Yeah, okay. Now, what is the meaning of Mahavakya? Mahavakya means, Maha means great and Vakya is sentence. Or if we can see, according to Vedic interpretation, Mahavakya is the statement or a sentence which is conveying the essence of the Vedanta Sutra. So according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna, Mahavakya is Omkara. Mahavakya is Omkara. Why? Because it is the basis of all Vedic vibrations. In Saturday's class, I have explained very explicitly that Omkara is the Shabd Brahman or the sound representation of the Lord, and how Parabrahman expand himself into different incarnation. Similarly, Pranava or Omkara expand itself into different categories of vidyas or knowledge, which are 18 in number. So, sound representation of the Lord, Ishwara Swarupa, and the reservoir of the cosmic manifestation. This Omkara, Sarva Vishwa Dhama. It's these things, these three things, Vedic vibration, representation of the Lord, and reservoir of the cosmic manifestation. This Omkara is the basis. This Omkara has three words in it when we recite. It's A-U-M. A-U-M. And A represents the Supreme Lord Krishna. And U represents the Ladini Shakti of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Ladini Shakti, or or the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. Let's just make it really simple, because if we get into the technical things, then we are going to just get stuck with this slide only. And M represents the marginal potency of the Lord, which is Jiva Shakti. So this or Omkara is the reservoir of Krishna, his Shaktis, as well as the jivas or marginal potency. So that's why this Omkara acts as Vedic vibration, sound representation, and as well as reservoir of the cosmic manifestation. It has been said that Omkara or the Pranava is included as the bija or as the seed of all the Vedas. Even in Mahamantra, Srila Prabhupada, in the purport of Adi Leela, chapter number 7, verse number 128, purport, he is saying that Omkara, representation of Omkara is, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even Jiva Goswami in his Paramatma Sandarbha, he is explaining the fact that Omkara is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. And in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna has given various verses. Om iti aksharam brahma vyaharan bam anusmaran yaha prayati tejaha deham sayati paramam gati. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits its body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. 8:13. Why I am showing all these? In order to show from where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that Omkara is the Maha Vakya, because Krishna or the essence of all the Vedas, or the statement which is producing or which is giving the main context of the Vedanta Sutra. 8:13. And then in this 9:17, Krishna is saying, Pitaham asya jagato, Mata data pitamaha, Vedyam pavitram omkara riksama yajur evacha. I am the object of knowledge, purifier, and the syllable Om. Krishna is saying that I am Om. And also later on in 17th chapter, he is saying that Om Tat Sat, these three words you are used to indicate the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And these are the symbolic representation is present in the hymns of Vedas. So let's see what Shankaracharya philosophy is saying now. That's what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said about the Omkara. Let's just see with our verse for today, 175, what Shankaracharya has to say. Prabhuji, if you are there.
तत्त्वमसि जीव हेतु प्रादेशिक वाक्य प्रणव ना मानी तारे कहे महावाक्य.
Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi. The subsidiary vibration, Tat Tvam Asi, you are the same, is meant for the understanding of the living entity. But the principal vibration is Omkara. Not caring for Omkara, Shankaracharya has stressed the vibration Tat Tvam Asi. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Tat Tvam Asi is accepted as the primary vibration by one who does not accept Pranava, the transcendental sound incarnation of the holy name of the Lord. As the chief principle in Vedic literature, by word jugglery, Shankaracharya tried to create an illusionary representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his relationship with the living entities and the cosmic manifestation. Tattvamasi is a warning to the living entity not to mistake the body for the self. Therefore, Tattvamasi is especially meant for the conditioned soul. The chanting of Omkara or the Hare Krishna mantra is meant for the liberated soul. Srila Rupa Goswami has said, Ai mukta kuler upasyaman namastaka one. Thus the holy name of the Lord is chanted by the liberated souls. Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj says, Nirvarta tasher upagiyamanat. Bhagavatam 10:1-4. The holy name of the Lord can be chanted by those who have fully satisfied their material desires or who are fully situated on the transcendental platform and devoid of material desire. The name of the Lord can be chanted by one who is completely free from material contamination. Anyay bhalashita shunyam gyan karmadi anavratam. Shankaracharya has indirectly minimized the value of principal Vedic mantra Omkara by accepting a subordinate vibration Tattvamasi as the most important Vedic mantra. Now, the meaning of Tattvamasi, this Tattvamasi is coming from the Chandogya Upanishad, which is a part of Samaveda. And this Tattvamasi means you are the same. That means this living entity is same as Brahman. That's what Tattvamasi means. But the purpose of this Mahavakya or this Pradakshika Vakya, see in the in this verse we can see Pradakshika Vakya. Pradakshika Vakya means subordinate Vakya or subsidiary Vakya. We can see subsidiary Vakya. Vakya means vibration or sentence. So this Pradakshika, this is the subordinate statement. And why this statement has been made Tattvamasi? In order to make this living entity realize that you are not this body, you are qualitatively same as the Supreme Lord. You are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, essentially. As we know in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Mameva Vancho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. And Krishna himself is mentioning that I have Swamshas and Vibhinanshas. And who are Vibhinanshas? Living entities. And those living entities, Sarika Bhasya or the commentary of Shankaracharya is proving by taking this Tattvamasi that you are the same as the Brahman. You are the same as Brahman. Why you are the same as the Brahman? Because Brahman never changes. Brahman is the same. Whatever we can see is just illusion. You are Brahman, I am Brahman, this is Brahman, everything is Brahman. There is nothing which is not Brahman. So in one way, if we see in Paramatma Sandarbha by Jiva Goswami, he is saying that Paramatma is acting as the cause for this material universe. And through his material energy, he is acting as the, through his material energy, he is, or sorry, this material energy is also coming from the Paramatma. So basically everything is the source. So source is Paramatma. Everything is coming from Paramatma. But that does not mean that other things which are existing, they are not maintaining their individuality. The Paramatma, he is Purna. No matter whatever is coming out of him, he is still Purna. But ultimately everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. But if we say that because everything belongs to the Supreme Lord, all the things which are existing, yes, they are Paramatma too, because Paramatma is present in his one of its portion in every atom. In every atom, Paramatma is there. That's why the particular characteristic of that atom is there because of the presence of Paramatma in that portion. But that does not mean that Paramatma is this material world is not the reality. It is the reality because it is coming from the truth, from the absolute truth, who can never produce anything which is untrue. So the point here is that Tattvamasi, this living entity, this is a separate energy of the Lord, Tathastha Shakti. This is the separate energy of the Lord, which we many times we give example that it is on the border. It can be controlled by Maya Shakti or it can go to the spiritual world. It is the Tathastha Shakti. But Shankaracharya Bhashya is saying that you are same as Brahman. Why? Because they are rejecting the qualities or the potencies of the Lord. Many times we have read in Srimad Bhagavatam that the Supreme Lord has internal potency, external potency, and Jiva Shakti or this marginal potency. So Shankaracharya, he rejected all the potencies. He said that there is nirvishesha, means there is no quality. Nirvishesha. Vishesha means quality. Nir means no quality. So there is no qualities. So that's why these Vedantists who follow Mayavada philosophy, many times by Bhakti Vedantas, they are called Vedantis. Vedantis means teeth, one who has teeth. And Ramanujacharya and then Madhavacharya, they broke their teeth. They broke their teeth of philosophy and they established the Dvaitavad, or they established that there is distinction. there is distinction. They are not accepting the qualities of the Supreme Brahman, and that's why they are saying that this Tattvamasi, the living entity, is same as Brahman. Now, this living entity, in quality it is same, but in quantity it is not the same. We know this. But at the same time, even in quality, we see the Supreme Lord who has internal potency, and which internal potency can be manifested into three ways. Samvid, Sandhi, Sandhini, and Ladini Shakti. In previous discussions, it has been explained what is Samvid, knowledge potency, Sandhi is existence potency, and Ladini is pleasure potency of the Lord. So, these three potencies are there in the Supreme Lord. But are these, I'm sorry, not three potencies. These three portions, internal potency is one, the portions are this. Are these things, Sandhini, Samvit, and Ladini, is present in living entity? The answer is no. Is marginal potency, is material energy, what it consists of? Three modes of material nature. We are swaying in the modes of material nature, and modes are living in us. But can we say that these modes are present in my constitutional position? No. So this proves that the Tattvamasi is just a Vakya which is given in the Upanishad, or in the Vedanta Sutra we can take here. In the Vedanta Sutra, just to prove or to give this identification to the identification to the living entity, so that he can get out of this bodily conception of life. Tattvamasi, that you are Vibhinna Ancha, or you are qualitatively similar to the Lord. You are the spiritual potency of the Lord. But you are not Lord, because you are not the master of internal, external, and marginal potency. This marginal potency is swayed here and there. Even whatever pleasures and pains we are experiencing in this material world is a mixture of all the modes and pains. If we are the possessor of internal potency or Swarupa Shakti of the Lord, can we feel that? No. So this Tattvamasi is you are the same, so that this living entity can feel or can understand that I am not this body. I am different from the body. But that's what Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, that the subsidiary vibration, Tattvamasi, you are the same, is meant for the understanding of living entity. But the principal vibration is Omkara. And because of the conditioning, this Tattvamasi is given to ordinary people who are conditioned living entities to understand. But Mahavakya, or the essence of Vedic literature on which all the Vedas are residing on, or the sound representation of Supreme Lord, and the reservoir of all the cosmic manifestation is Omkara, the seed Omkara, as we proved in the verses from Bhagavad Gita. And that's what Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu has said, that this whole philosophy is that you have taken half of the truth and rejecting other half. And the same points or the same philosophical discussion is happening with Prabodhananda Saraswati in chapter 7 of Adi Leela. Almost the same. Okay. Let's just take another verse. Verse 176.
এই মতে কল্পিত ভাষ্যে শত দোষ দিল, ভট্টাচার্য পূর্বপক্ষ অপার করিল।
Translation. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu criticized Shankaracharya's Sarika Bhasya as imaginary. And he pointed out hundreds of faults in it. We have just seen. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that whatever Shankaracharya has given, he did not accept, and he said that Vyasadeva, he was mistaken. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, how come Vyasadeva is mistaken when he is the incarnation of Supreme Lord? And particularly, he has come into this, he has taken this form just to divide or to impart the knowledge or divide the Vedas into so many branches. And Shankaracharya, he did not accept, completely reject. But again, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to explain that Shankaracharya is also not at fault, because we know that Shankaracharya is also coming from Lord Shiva. And Shankaracharya, whatever he did, he is doing it on the order of the Supreme Lord. So, and he pointed out hundreds of faults in it to defend Shankaracharya. However, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya presented unlimited opposition. Prabhuji?
বিতণ্ডা ছল নিগ্রহাদি অনেক উঠাইল, সব খণ্ডী প্রভু নিজ মতো সে স্থাপিল।
Vitanda is counter arguments. Chala, imaginary interpretation. Nigraha adi repulses to the opposite party. Aneka, with various. Utaila, raised. Shaba, all. Khandi, refuting Prabhu Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nijamata, his own conviction. Say, tad. Sthapila, established. Translation. The Bhattacharya presented various types of false arguments with pseudo-logics and tried to defeat his opponent in many ways. However, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refuted all these arguments and established his own conviction. It's his own conviction based on the Vedanta Sutra, based on the Vedanta philosophy, by taking the direct meaning, direct interpretation from the Vedas, right? Vitanda, Chala, Nigrahadi, by all these counter arguments or by imaginary interpretation, this philosophy of Vivartavad or Sharika Bhashya has presented this Vivartavad has been refuted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Let's see the purport. The word Vitanda indicates that a debater not touching the main point or establishing his own point simply tries to refute the other person's argument. When one does not touch the direct meaning, but tries to divert attention by misinterpretation, he engages in chala. He engages in chala. If we remember, then previously also Mukhya Vritti and Gauna Vritti, these were the two words we used. Mukhya Vritti is the direct interpretation, and Gauna Vritti is something driving out of it. And if the Gauna Vritti is not going according to the main principles of the direct meaning, then it should not be accepted. Just like I have given example that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if we see what is the meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it has the names of Rama, Krishna, Hari, right? Hare. And Hare, we know that Srimati Radharani. But many times we ask, what is the meaning of Sri Hare Krishna Mahamantra? O energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. So is this the direct meaning? No, it's not the direct meaning. It's indirect meaning, but it has been given to us by our acharyas. We are accepting it because it is not against the direct meaning of the mantra. You get the point? So this is the thing. But in order to prove their own point of that everything is just Brahman, and Brahman never changes. Brahman never changes. Everything is just illusion. This Tattvamasi is taking as they are taking it as a essence or the Mahavakya or the great sentence of the Vedanta, and then they are proving their own philosophy. And by Chal, not touching the main point or establishing his own point, simply tries to refute the other person's argument. They are not accepting Omkara, and they are using Tat Tvam Asi not in the right context. To make people understand that you are not the body, you are the spirit soul, and your constitutional position is to serve the Supreme Lord. But they are using it to prove that there is no form, nothing. You are Tattvamasi, you are the same. It's like a ghata or the pot, right? If the pot is pot just get break, so the air just merges into air. So that's what they are trying to use by using Tattvamasi. They are using a subsidiary vibration and suppressing Omkara over Omkara, and this Tattvamasi, they are establishing the Sharika Bhashya or Shankaracharya as the main essence of Vedanta Sutra. And for doing that, he has a purpose behind that too, which we are going to see in further text. Okay. Okay, this is now starting from this 178. Now, till now, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he refuted the philosophy of Shankaracharya. But now 178, this particular verse requires another in-depth explanation. Why? Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to establish that Vedantas or Vedas are establishing three tattvas: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Bhagavan, Bhakti, and Prema, Vede, Tina, Vastukaya. That means Vedas are explaining these three things: Sambandha, Abhideya, and how to achieve Prema. And even in Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, in 15th chapter, he is saying, Sarvesha, he is saying the essence of reading Vedas is to just understand me. Is just to understand me, not any other thing. So this Sambandha Abhideya, what is Sambandha with Bhagwan? And this Tattvamasi and Omkara is also we can see between two two Vakyas, the relationship between the individual or the living entity and the Supreme Lord. That's the connection, the relationship. The relationship between the Jiva, Prakriti, and Purusha or the Ishvara, right? So that is Sambandha. Unless we understand our relationship with the Supreme, Sambandha with Bhagwan, there is no possibility of understanding our Prayojana, which is Prema. And Abhideya is the process to achieve it. So 178, now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to say what Vedas are actually saying. What Shankaracharya has taken, now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refuted the entire philosophy. Now he is establishing what Vedas are going to say. And we are going to see this in next class. A very important verse, very, very important verse. Vedascha sarve aham veda. Very important verse. Now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to say what Vedas want us to understand. With this, thank you so much for listening so nicely. And if you have gained any kind of thing or knowledge from this presentation, this is because of Srila Prabhupada's commentaries, purports, and whatever I have learned from my Siksha Guru, from my Shravan Guru, from my Diksha Guru. Credit goes to them. And if any mistakes I have made, definitely I'm a human being with so many of faults. So anything I have said wrong, please forgive me for that. And I'm ready for any kind of objections, corrections, additions, or questions. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. And if there is nothing, then we can just turn off here.
Thank you for that, very detailed explanation and talk on this topic. I haven't encountered too many people who adhere to or are very well, I guess, versed or educated in the Mayavadi philosophy that practice it. But we come across people who have these notions all the time. This is their misconceptions. It gets passed down, whether it's through their education, they hear it from different spiritual teachers. But they don't, I haven't come across too many people that just very strongly argue it. But when it's laid out like this, you really see that there's not a whole lot of logic. I mean, there's a lot of faults to it. So I think it is important that we are able to describe, and if we are ever challenged about it, and then also in ourselves, if we ever find impersonalist tendencies in ourselves, that we're able to identify it and eliminate it if it ever comes up. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate your explanation today.
Thank you so much. Even Shankaracharya himself is going to speak in verses that whatever he has presented is incorrect. We can see that Lord Shiva, conversation between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, where he is going to say that I'm going to give the illusionary meaning of Vedants. So he who himself has given is going to speak on it. So, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu really has given such nice, clear explanation to all of us. And Srila Prabhupada on top of it, clearly explained in the purports so nicely. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Nice presentation.
Thank you, Mataji.
And I'm just thinking like Prabhupada, I know Om is so popular all over in all the religious organization. Then Prabhupada, he always say one devotee, I read long time back, he was talking to one devotee, he said, should we chant Om because Om is a representation of Krishna? Then Prabhupada say, no, you just chant Hare Krishna, Maha Mantra.
Yeah, because Prabhupada said that Hare Krishna Mahamantra include the sound of Om. So that's why this and especially this mantra is coming in our lineage, in our disciplic lineage given to us by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. We can see that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining about Omkara, Mahavakya, and he's putting the emphasis on it again and again. But Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the one who propagated this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, and Prabhupada in one of the purports, I think it's, if you go in Adi Leela chapter 7, maybe in 128 or 127 purport, Srila Prabhupada has said that Omkara is included in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we can see that even in Bhagavatam, the start is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That Pranava is invoked. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra already has this sound Omkara as explained to us by Srila Prabhupada, and also Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu himself is propagating this mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Just to refute the philosophy and for the technical discussion, so that the devotees who are coming in the Gaudiya Vaishnava society, they should understand clearly what impersonalism is very important for all of us. So especially I'm considering myself to understand what is the difference and what we are doing. And then in impersonalist also, we consider everybody as Mayavadis, which I said as it's like a salt in the vegetable. But these days, everybody is Mayavadi, but there is distinction which has been given, Brahmavadis, Paramatmavadis, and Mayavadis. So Mayavadis are the one to whom Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu refuted brutally. I mean, mind-blowing explanations Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu has given.
Yeah, the explanation in Chaitanya Caritamrita and all Prabhupada book is really amazing. Thank you for quoting all these
Thank you, Mataji.
verses. I really love it.
Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. So, have a good day. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvayeva cha patita nama pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.